Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you all here on this afternoon in a cloudy afternoon in the UK currently. Good to see you from all over the place. USA, I can see South Africa, Bulgaria. Who else have we got? The UK, of course. The Netherlands. Quite a few different places at the moment. So great, and welcome all. Okay, today we have a brilliant presentation that's going to happen and some ideas that were going to be put to us. Tom and I have known each other quite a long time. Tom Big Al Schreiter, as he's known, has 46 years experience in network marketing and MLM. As the author of the original Big Al training books in the late 70s, he has continued to speak in over 90 countries on using the exact words and phrases to get prospects to open their minds and say yes. I've known Tom for over 15 years myself. We've worked a couple of projects together. He's always been helping me all the way along and a great inspiration to myself. We've enjoyed eating out together many times in the UK, spending quality time in the different cities that we've met. Yeah, I'd like to pass over to Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Well, thank you. And for everybody here on the call, if you have a fear of closing, I would say you should have no fear when we finish because everything we were told about getting a decision was bogus. So for years and years, we thought people made up their minds a certain way. And here's what I was taught 50 years ago. Talk to people, give them lots of information, show them slides, give them testimonials, high pressure them at the end, and then you close them. And it turned out that all that was bogus. About 24 years ago, they did some MRIs on the human brain, and here's what they found out. And if you're only going to remember one thing from today, remember this: that humans make their final decision instantly. Yes, before they heard the name of the company, but before you've told them any details, before they know anything, they've already made up their minds. And if that bothers you, trust me, it bothered me a lot. So if there's only one thing to take from today is people make decisions right away. Not later, not after the details. They make their decisions, number one, on zero information. And number two, instantaneously. And you say, well, that's just a little bit hard to take. So let me show you an example, because here's what this means. This means you and I can get our final yes decision immediately. We don't have to wait past, 10 or 15 or 20 seconds to do this. It's all over painlessly, rejection free, instantly, and we don't have to do all that other silly stuff. You say, really? So here's what brain scientists did. They took MRIs of the brain and they found out that, you know what? People have already made the decision before we even got to the good stuff. So if you're doing these long presentations and explaining things and answering questions, chances are this is going to make a difference. So let's do a couple examples really quick because I know if you're like most people, you're thinking this can't be true. So let's start off. How many people here have ever sat down with a prospect? And from the moment we sit down, the prospect is leaning back, folding their arms, frowning. Now, the question is, have they made up their mind? Yeah. What was their decision? No. And we haven't even said our first word of information. Or let's try this. How many people here invited somebody to an opportunity meeting or a Zoom meeting and they didn't show up? Yeah. Well, have they made a decision? Yeah. What was their decision? No. Based on how much information? Zero. Now it's starting to sound a little bit better now. Let's try this. For all the ladies on the call, have you ever seen a man with a remote control in front of a TV, channel surfing, click, 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 click? Ladies, you look at men and say, men are so stupid. They made their final decision to watch that channel or not. They only saw like a half a second. Men are idiots. But that's how we go through channel surfing. Here's an easier one. How many people here have ever watched a video on YouTube? How many seconds into the video before we make our final decision if you want to watch that video or not. 3 seconds, 5 seconds. That's getting pretty strange. So Derek and I have eaten out a lot. So let's sit down to eat, and the waitress comes and takes my order. And how long does it take me to make up my mind? Do I need all the details? Do I say, hey, on this menu item, are the vegetables organically grown? Did the chicken lead a happy life before they killed it? No, we just made it up right away. So think about this. People make decisions instantly. And if this bothers you, which I know it will, and if this sounds too hard to believe, which I know it does, just remember this example because we don't have much time to hear today, but this will help us keep in memory of this. How many people here made a decision to enter a relationship or get married before we had all the information? You say, that's pretty cruel. So people make up their minds first. So the answer is if people make up their minds right away, when's a good time to close? And the answer is right away. That's the time to close. Now, do other people know this? No, they don't. We have such a tremendous advantage because we know how humans make up their minds. Other people think, oh, lightning strikes me. That's how I make up my mind, or I just have an emotion or a feeling, or they just have no idea. So you and I are talking to people who have no idea how they make decisions, and we do. This is an absolute license to get our message inside their head and actually print money. Now, you say, well, if they make the decision right away, no information, are you sure? So let's do one more example. Let's say we're at a hotel in, I don't know, Manchester, and we're doing a meeting. So at the end of the meeting, Derek says, Big Al and I, at the end of the meeting here, we're going over to the ice cream parlor and eat ice cream. Who wants to come with us? Half the people raise their hand. Now, half the people made an instant decision. Oh, no, I got to get home to my babysitter, or I'm lactose intolerant. I don't like ice cream. Okay. And half the people raised their hand and said yes. Now, ask ourselves. They made the instant yes decision before they even knew where the ice cream parlor was located, before they knew how many flavors of ice cream were available, before they knew if Derek was going to buy the ice cream or they had to pay for themselves. The decision was instant. How humans make decisions is they hear something, they compare it to what's already inside of their mind, make a snap decision, and it's really not conscious. And you say, well, don't I have to use my conscious mind to make a decision? The answer is no. Almost all of our decisions, 99.9999%, are made under the radar in an area of our brain that we can't even access. So let me give you an example. In the last 1 second, you have made 100,000 decisions just to stay alive. Pump blood over here, move this muscle, blink this eye, create 30,000 new digestive enzymes, put the weight over on this side. All these decisions were made, because they had to be made, under the radar in an area of our brain we don't even access. So once we throw away this old-time stupid thing that people make decisions on information, we start understanding what's going through their head. So when they look at their business, if they're going to enroll or not, it's not from the data. So let's go to Tesco grocery store there in the UK. We're at aisle 4. We have our cart. We're going down the aisle. And we look over in the left and we see a box of cornflakes. And do we stop the cart and say, cornflakes, oh my. I wonder if they have a company video. Do they have a website? Are the cornflakes natural, international, supernatural? Have they won any awards lately? No, that's not how we make up our minds. We go cornflakes, yuck, and we go on to the next thing. And go down the aisle, no, 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 no. Bottle of wine, yes. No, 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 no. Donuts, yes. No, 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 no. We make instant and immediate decisions by comparing stuff that's deep inside our mind that we don't access. So hopefully everybody here is on the same page. And you say, so how do I get this decision right away? Well, there's four, actually 5 steps the human mind goes through. And here they are. You don't have to write them down. We will learn this in time. But the first thing they ask is, who are you? Now, if you are the most famous football player and they are a fan, it doesn't matter what you say, you're probably going to join. But most of us don't have that influence. So we're going to have to deal with the other four. The second question in the human mind is, can I trust you and believe you? The third question is, what's this all about? The fourth question is, do I want to do it or not? And the fifth question is, if I do want to do it, you can give me a presentation now. But I don't need to know very much, just need to have a couple questions answered. So what happens is most people start off by giving a presentation. This is out of order, and that's why it feels so weird to the human mind. Now, the easiest way to do this without rejection is using this example. I'm going to call you up and ask you for an appointment. When I say appointment, what crosses your mind? Appointment. Salesman. Takes a long time. Can't get him out of the house, or he's going to be on the phone forever, and he's going to follow up and high pressure me. And all the stuff deep inside our mind comes out and says, we don't want an appointment, and it's going to be hard to get it. But what if I change that one word, appointment, or opportunity, whatever, and change it to the word options? That I want to give you one more option in your life. Now, presentation, when we say appointment, that means presentation. Presentation means somebody's going to try to high pressure me, close me at the end. And if I see a presentation, I got to look for all the stuff that's wrong and why I can't do it so I can protect myself at the end. But if I say options, you say, wait, the only way the options can even help me if I can figure out a way to make it work. So we change the word presentation to options. We change the person from saying, let me look for reasons why not, to look for reasons why this would work. Humans love options. So if you just want to change one word just to start, stop saying the word presentation and start saying the word options. People love having extra options in their life. Derek and I go out to eat, and it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and all they have is tofu. Well, we would want other options. So when we talk to people, if we say the word options, they say, well, you're not going to pressure me. It's okay if I do it or not. And I want options. They are so much more open-minded. So let's take some words here and make some closes thinking about the word options. First thing I want to do is give you 9 words. And the 9 words are, so what is going to be easier for you? So what is going to be easier for you? And they're thinking, do I want to do stuff that's harder or easier? Well, easier. Do I want options? Yeah, I want options. And now we're going to give them some options. The human brain is lazy. It doesn't like to think very much. It likes to save its thinking for Netflix or Sky TV. So what it wants is the minimum amount of options and it to be multiple choice. So it doesn't have to think creatively or anything. It just says, make it easy for me. And the reason is I can only have one thought at a time. And I have tens of thousands of questions coming up that I'm going to have to take care of. I got to get rid of this like in 1 second. So just give me a quick option so I can choose one and go on to the next thing because I'm being pressured by all these decisions I have to make. So we're going to say, so what's going to be easier for you? And we're going to give them 2 options. And I say, thank you. It makes it simple. So option number 1 is the wonderful thing we offer. And option number 2 is for them to keep their miserable life just the way it is. That's their options. And if today's a good day for them, they can take our option. If no day will ever be good for them, they can keep their miserable life. But our message is inside, and they'll make an instant and immediate decision. If they do say, yes, I want this option, then and only then would we even mention anything toward a presentation and answering all the questions. So, what's going to be easier for you? Let me give you a couple examples. So, what's going to be easier for you to continue fighting traffic on the M6 to work every day for the rest of your life, or to learn how to start your own business out of your home so you can work out of your home and never commute again? And they're thinking, wow, probably my own business. He said, great. They've made a decision, haven't they? So it's going to be easier for you to continue begging your boss every time you need a raise, or to start your own part-time business so you can give yourself a raise anytime you want. So what's going to be easier for you to get a part-time business with us and start making some extra money, or to continue trying to get by on one paycheck every month? You say, wow, that's easy. And nobody's offended because they get to make the choice. And they say, I'm not pressured. I can choose what I want. I'm in control. Now, my son Keith, he has a great example of options. And why, when you give people options, we can just stand back, never worry about rejection. You say, hey, it's just an option. Add to all the options you have. And they say, well, I don't want to think. Just give me these two. So Keith's example is this. Let's say you and I sit down for a cup of coffee, and the waitress comes over and says, do you want cream with your coffee? And you say, yes, I want cream with my coffee. And she says, Big Al, do you want cream with your coffee? And I say, no, I like my coffee black. You don't see the waitress go back in the kitchen, take the cream, slam it against the wall, and yell out, it's a pyramid. My life is ruined. I've been rejected. No, it's just an option. So what you and I will do is simply offer people options. They'll never feel pressured. They'll appreciate that we gave them one more option that they can use or not, but they'll definitely try to use it if they can. You're saying, what an easy way to close, and we can do that in seconds. So what is going to be easier for you? Good one to start. And it doesn't matter which thing you put first. You could put first your offer and then keep your life the same, or you could talk about their miserable life first and then your offer. It doesn't matter. You already messed with their brain with just 9 words. So let's do another one. If you are familiar with the basic skills in network marketing, in which I hope everybody here is, if not, now's a good time, because people write all the time and say, well, tell me how to recruit. I need to recruit people. How do I do it? And I say, well, the same, if you want to recruit people, have a big organization, you're going to do it the same way to become a doctor. You're not going to ask somebody. You're going to study, read a couple of books, go to some courses, hang around with your sponsor, and start learning. So what we have is a chance to learn a couple sentences here to take care of this one skill, closing. So if you're familiar with the other personality skills, one of the personalities is called green, which are very, like your engineers and accountant. These are the people that torture you by asking way too many questions. So all we do is close them with 4 words. And the 4 words we're going to say is, does it make sense? Now, when you say, does it make sense, they will automatically say, well, of course, I'm a sensible person. I'm probably borderline genius. They've already made a yes decision before they heard the rest of the sentence. But here's how it goes. Does it make sense to, and we're going to tell them what we want them to do, comma, and then we're going to say instead of. Now, when we say instead of, that triggers all kind of stuff in their minds, which is kind of cool. Instead of keeping your life the same. So how does it sound? Does it make sense to trade with knowledge in your back pocket instead of just winging it and hope for the best? Does it make sense to partner with professionals who know about earning money instead of trying to figure it all out on our own? Does it make sense to learn what we need to do before we risk our money instead of saying, wow, that wasn't so hard? So if we say, does it make sense, instead of your current situation, when they say yes, they've made a decision. Wow, that's pretty easy. Let's do one more. And this one is super effective. It doesn't even use an option, but it's a level 5 close, and it's pretty deadly. For those of you that's taken this free home study course on closing, you'll run across this eventually in your classes there. But here's what it does. Pain, people don't like. They'll make an instant decision to get rid of pain. Now, if you offer them a zillion dollars, they're going to hesitate. But when we have a problem or pain, we take action. So we're going to talk about the pain. Here's the difference. You go to the dentist every year for checkup. So you get this postcard in the mail. The dentist says, hey, time for your annual checkup. You look at it and say, my teeth feel good. I'll go next year. But get a toothache. Your face is swollen out here. You can only see out of one eye. Painkillers doesn't even stop the pounding headache. It is horrible. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to call the dentist. We're going to call the dentist and say, hey, dentist, I'm coming in. Can I come in right away? And the dentist says, I'm booked up for 2 weeks. You say, no, I don't care if you're booked up for 2 weeks. I'm coming in now. I'm going to sit in the waiting room. If somebody cancels, I can take their appointment. If nobody cancels, then during lunch, when you're eating your sandwich, look inside my mouth. Well, we sit there, and come lunchtime, the dentist is eating his sandwich. He looks inside our mouth and says, oh, man, that's really bad. That's going to have to come out. That's going to be like 200 pounds. What are we going to say? We're going to say, take it out. Instant decision. Pain motivates people because they get into action. So if you want to close people quicker, all you want to do is learn how to induce more pain. And you can induce more pain with 4 little words. Now, are you okay with me finishing the call here today and not telling you what those 4 words are? Are you okay going throughout your career never knowing what those 4 words are? Are you okay thinking I'm going to do long presentations and waste my time forever? Are you okay with having tiny bonus checks while other people get big bonus checks? Are you okay with sitting in the crowd clapping for other people getting the big rewards? And if you haven't figured it out already, what are the 4 words? Are you okay with? And all we have to do is say, are you okay with? And presto, we trigger an instant decision. So are you okay with commuting down the M6 every day for the rest of your life? Are you okay with working 48 weeks for your boss every year and only having 4 weeks for your own? Are you okay with never having enough money for a decent vacation, so you're always taking a holiday at your mother-in-law's apartment with their 32 cats? Are you okay with, and you say, gosh, all I have to do is do, are you okay with, and people trigger and go, yes, I'm in it. So if you have a convention coming up and say, well, are you okay with not going to the convention and continue earning tiny bonus checks? Or I tell people, are you okay with trying to do this business and never learning the skills? Are you okay with getting rejection and don't know how to prospect? Are you okay with taking a long time to get where you want to be? Are you okay with as simple as that? So for the one lesson that we learned today, and that is closing happens instantly based upon no information. The decision comes first. And if they make a yes decision, then and only then we tell them any details. So we don't have to do any presentations for people that are not going to join anyway, because they made a no decision. It's going to save us a ton of time. Now, let me give you a transition phrase that you can use. If you say, are you okay with, or does it make sense? And they say, yes. And then what's the next words they're going to say? They might say, well, that sounds good, but I need to know more. Well, they have made a yes decision. And when they say, I need to know more, now we do our presentation. My question to you is, Do you think everybody wants to hear all the details of your presentation? The answer is no. They don't want to learn or hear everything we've learned so far. So how do we know what to tell them? We ask the simple question. When they say, well, I need to know more, we're simply going to say, what would you like to know first? And they will tell us the direction we have to go. And when we run out of that, we can say, what would you like to know next? And just keep asking that till they run out of questions. And that's the only information they need to know. Some personalities want to know nothing, they're ready to go. Other personalities, like the green personality we mentioned, wants lots of details. But the point is, no details until we've already closed them and got a yes decision. So, good luck. And if you have a chance, you can practice this. So if you have kids at home, you can sit at the dinner table and test to see if it works for yourself. You can say to the kids, does it make sense to eat your vegetables instead of never getting a Wi-Fi password again? They're going to eat their vegetables. You can practice it at work, with a family, with friends. But all of these things are rejection free. So if you're shy or not super confident, you'll feel good about giving people options with these keyword phrases. So you can close them right away and then relax and just answer some questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to Derek. I think Derek has already sent everybody the link where you can have this little seven lesson course on how to close people to show you how more of these things would work. But we only get paid when people say yes. We don't get paid if they say, I need to think it over, or I don't want to do it, or I'm not interested right now. We only get paid when we close. So that's why we started with closing. So Derek, let me turn it back to you because I know everybody's ready to go out and say to somebody, does it make sense to, instead of, and start building their business. So Derek, over to you.
Thank you, Tom. That was really, really good and great. I bet everyone's going to be practicing. Guys will have to practice that. I know I've used some of these things before and they really, really do work. It sounds so simple, but it works so well. So thank you very much, Tom, and maybe we'll have you over again, maybe soon, to give us some more tips. Yeah, thank you very much. Does anyone want to ask any questions at all before we go on to the corporate presentation in just under half an hour? In fact, I'd recommend you get in there in 15 minutes because it does get blocked up. Anyone else want to ask any questions?
Okay, looks like we're all set.
Yeah.
So they're ready to go and close and start building their group immediately.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Tom, and look forward to seeing you again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.